Hey YouTube, tonight I'm going to do another Arts and Letters review. This is the third, and I want to say they're going to send four, not absolutely sure yet. I believe they're going to send another one next week for the final of the weekly set. But again, not entirely sure. This is the third, dated December 12th, from, as you know by now, from the Arts and Letters Company. And as always, beautiful packaging. And here we go. I need like a letter opener, but I feel like people don't write anymore and people don't do letters anymore, so I need it, but I don't, if that makes sense. You know, I don't receive enough letters to actually need it on a daily basis. But it'd be nice to have. My parents have one. Okay, so I want to say that we are doing, I want to say we're doing Charles Dickens again. And maybe not. As always, it's a little confusing. No, we're not doing Charles Dickens again. We're doing William Makepeace Thackeray. And this is William Makepeace Thackeray to Edward Fitzgerald in 1843. This week's letter is between two longtime friends. William Thackeray and Edward Fitzgerald had met about 20 years before at Trinity College, Cambridge University. They established a close friendship which they maintained throughout their lives, mostly through letters. And again, as I've said before, these are pretty long, like the explanation ones, so I'm not going to go through that with you. However, I will show you the portrait of Thackeray, William Thackeray. And let's see if they show the picture of the other gentleman, Edward Fitzgerald. Edward Fitzgerald, his friend. So that is sweet. These are letters between friends, lifelong friends that met at Cambridge. And yes, both very famous, as you may know, famous writers. And yeah, I'm not going to go too deep into this, again, to keep time reasonable, but I will kind of like show you. This is 4 pages of letters. It's possibly, it may be just one letter. Yeah, I want to say this is all one letter. Yeah, back in like the 1800s, look at that beautiful script. People would, and friends would actually write to each other to communicate. Imagine waiting to hear from your friend for days and days and days. And it's not because they're not answering their texts, it's because you're waiting for a letter to come by horse. Like Pony Express type stuff, okay? So, yeah, as always, very historically enriching. Again, not going to read this whole big 4-page long thing for you. Just kind of give you the main, you know, explanation of what it's about. And yeah, so that was the third in the series. I believe there's going to be 4, not entirely sure yet. Going to keep this video kind of short because, again, I've done several of these and they can get lengthy, you know, when we start getting into the reading, and I'm not so good. I'm reading on screen. As you may have noticed, I'm tongue-tied and speech impediment, and it gets 10 times worse when I have to read out loud. I was homeschooled, never really had to read out loud except to my parents, and I always get the words kind of a little mixed up, almost like I'm dyslexic, but I'm not. I just get tongue-tied. So I'm not going to read these whole things for you, but yeah, if you want to check it out, Arts and Letters, definitely a subscription I suggest for people who are into literature and history. And yeah, again, Merry Christmas. Christmas is next week. I'm so excited. One of my customers brought me a gift today. He brought me loose leaf teas, and yeah, no greater gift than teas and books. So anyway, yeah, Merry Christmas to you all. Like, comment, subscribe as always.